before I leave.
And you are listening to WLXU 93.9 FM Lexington Community Radio. And we were just ushered in from that break from the live in the studio sounds of Somerset, Kentucky's Kevin Dalton on guitar and vocals and the incredible Tommy Cate on harmonica. Let's give them a round of applause. Not much better than that, right? And Tommy always travels with a suitcase, and most of the time I see a bigger one than this, but this is like the baby version of the suitcase. But it is a suitcase full of musical blessings, in my opinion. Don't you all agree? Yeah, and that suitcase, you can see like lots of harmonicas inside of this. And Tommy keeps the highway pretty hot, don't you, Tommy?
Yes, thankfully.
And I love that. He is always so gracious whenever you ask him that question. And kind of describe what I'm talking about how hot you keep this highway.
Well, I am fortunate to work in West Virginia all week long and then race back home to play on the weekends. And so it's you drive it so much that you just kind of, it gets to where it's like sitting on your couch and you don't pay much attention to it anymore. Play harmonicas, trying to learn how to play the tin whistle, and trying to learn how to play the keyboard with one hand, sitting in the passenger side. And,
his car is completely full of one-handed instruments that he.
We'll just leave it at that. I love it. And Tommy, I see you like in several bands. It's just like almost anytime I'm looking up and there's a harmonica, you're like behind it.
I'm in Kevin's band, but
he's a harmonica hoe.
Yeah. Anybody
it.
that wants. I just, I've been really fortunate to play with a whole bunch of really good musicians, and they just make me sound good. So I do that every chance I get.
Well, I just love it, and I'm so thankful that you're here today.
Thank you. Glad to be.
Me too.
And Kevin is an amazing artist as well, and you are both from Somerset, yet a lot of us feel like Lexington is your second musical home.
Well, I'm trying to move it in.
Well, we would love to have you here. We will make it your first musical home. Nobody in here would have a problem with that, right?
Yeah.
So, Whitney and Ray, I now realize as I look around that all four of our guests have sat in on the Songwriters in the Round stage, and I believe it was on the same night. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's what.
Well, it was. Yeah.
And Kevin is quite a frequent guest at the Twisted Cork. And
Oh,
let's talk
absolutely.
about what does the audience most love about Kevin and Tommy?
Well, we have them as much as they'll come. You just heard that, right? I'm not the only one in this room. That was just incredible. I'm still sitting over here. I've heard Kevin before. I haven't heard Tommy with Kevin until just now, and my mind is like blown. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think, Ray?
They're credible talent, but Tommy, both of them are. But Tommy brings his suitcase, and he can make his harmonica sound like a keyboard, piano, strings. He gets so many different sounds out of a harmonica. I've never heard anything like it.
I give him credit a lot. I make the comment that he's the David Gilmour of harmonica, and that's about as close as I can put it.
And
That's a great
it's
analogy.
not overdone. It's done perfectly.
Yeah.
Very tasteful.
Thank you very
We're
much.
making Tommy blush.
Yeah.
We love
Yes.
Tommy.
Man.
And Kevin is one of the best songwriters. I just have to say.
I do. I
without
really
a doubt.
enjoy.
And,
I really
and
enjoy it.
Central Kentucky's not the only place that appreciates him. I mean, he's traveled. He's played some very cool places that he's
hard
probably way too humble to even mention. But one of the top songwriters around here for sure.
And he's blushing now too. Are you blushing?
I'm just hot. I got
Well, that too. That happens too. So Kevin is a music educator, and I'd like you to maybe tell our audience about how you work in concert while you're in Somerset, Kentucky.
Well, I actually, for the last couple of years, I started teaching at a privately owned music studio, giving guitar lessons and mandolin lessons, ukulele lessons, teach several instruments, and then also teach songwriting. I have some songwriting students. That's one of my favorite things. But so I started doing that, and just it's kind of grown and grown, and right now I'm pretty much in love with doing that during the day, but then I try to get out and play as much as I can at night.
So you teach songwriting lessons.
Well,
So how do you go about doing that?
Well, a lot of it is trying to just initially get the person that I'm working with to not be afraid to open themselves up, because I think that's a big part of it is when you first start, and sometimes even if you've done it for a while, we tend to get closed up at times and without some kind of keys or something to trigger the things to open you up and get what you're really wanting to get out. That's a big part of it. We can get stuck sometimes.
Wonderful. Well, will you sing another one for us?
Certainly.
Well, we've got you here in Lexington, right? So what are you going to sing for us next?
This is a song called The Fire and the Moon.
Okay, and what's the background of this song?
This is a song I actually wrote a few years ago. Actually, I don't know. I can't keep track of days anymore, but it's basically about our friends and family that are in the military and are overseas serving, and how much we miss them, and want them to be home. Personally, I don't have a lot of connection with that. My father was in the military. I was not, but that's always been something that I've wanted to write more about, just from his experiences. And but it's more on my mind these days. I've got some friends back home that their son just went to boot camp, and I know they've been nervous and tore up and everything about how he is, and they actually I saw on Facebook as I was driving up here, they're actually visiting him right now. They've got to go to Texas and see him, so I'll kind of throw this out there for them.
Wonderful. This is Kevin Dalton and Tommy Cate on Overtones.
The crickets still sing in October. Lily, she's trying to bloom. And though she's resting her head on the shoulder of death, she shines by the light of the moon. And I know you'll be coming home soon. The sun's setting quicker and colder. last time you saw it last June. And the tree colors fade to a dark shade of gray when they're lit by the fire and the moon. And I know you'll be coming home soon. Heaven's diamonds are shining tonight. I look for a falling one of me, wish I might. I wish your guitar could play me a tune, was lit by the fire and the moon. And I know you'll be coming home soon. Patsy girl's chasing a shadow, keeping me good company. I've tucked the babies in bed and poured me some red, getting lit by the fire and the moon. I know you'll be coming home soon. Heaven's diamonds are shining tonight. I look for a falling one of me, wish I might. I wish your guitar could play me a tune, was lit by the fire and the moon. Well, I hope things will change in November. Thanksgiving can't get here too soon. And by at least Christmas time I'll be cutting a pine by the light of the fire and the moon. And I know you'll be coming home soon. Said I know you'll be coming home soon.
We will be back after the break.